Hey there, Generals. Welcome to Talking with Generals. This is our first show of this new series that we're going to start off. But before we get going, we have a special guest. So let's go ahead and throw it on over to Mr. Shipley to deliver that special message.
Hey, Generals. Hope everybody's doing great. Russ Shipley, proud to be the principal of Shafter High, and real excited as we kind of keep moving forward, now getting different types of HQTV news and information out to you. But first and foremost, I just want to say I hope everybody's doing well. We miss you guys. As many of you know, we are now moving into the red tier under the health department. We just got out of purple. Now as we begin to move forward, we're now seeing sort of some of those steps as we begin to slowly reopen, and there's some targeted groups that will slowly begin to come back. I wish I could stand before you right now and say, we're ready, we're moving back, we're wide open, but these are all coming in steps and stages as we work with the health department and throughout the county with all of our local schools. So on one end, I'm very excited to see as we begin to move forward, but then also just realize, just hang in there with us. We're not alone. As we continue to move forward, we'll hopefully in the near future, we'll be back to some type of normalcy. On another note, it is hard to believe that we are now wrapping up the end of first quarter. This next week, last week of first quarter, and just from my heart to yours, just advice that I give, hang in there. I know that many of us maybe had some struggles in the beginning. I don't want you to ever think or believe that if maybe you started off maybe with some issues or maybe connectivity or maybe there were some other things happening, please remember that never give up. And know right now, I just want you to finish strong and don't feel like you may be in a position where you're so far behind that you can't get caught up. You can get it done. But just stay positive about it. And we want you to finish strong as we wrap up the end of first quarter. And then we'll get into second. Then, of course, we'll see what happens next with the opening of school, whenever that comes. But again, just keep pushing forward. Don't give up. And I know some of you right now had some issues, some struggles. Also others, you've just been getting it done, and we're proud of you. And so with that, we're here together. We miss you guys and hope to see all of you very soon. So with that, always remember, once a general, always a general. Take care.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Shipley, for that message. First off, I'm Mr. Feaster, and I want to go ahead and introduce myself as one of the hosts today of Talking with Generals. And we've got two great hosts with us, and that is, we're going to start off with our first one, your ASB president, Nick Aguirre. Nick, how you doing?
Hey, Generals, how you doing? My name is Nick Aguirre, and I'm your ASB president. Some of you may know me from track or football, but it's a pleasure to be invited here, and I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. Our co-host for today's show is our commissioner of rallies, or one of them, Alicia Pompa. Alicia, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks, Feaster. Hi, Generals. My name is Alicia Pompa, and I'm your ASB Commissioner of Rallies. I play volleyball and softball, and I'm grateful to be here.
Great. So you guys know kind of what this is about. This whole show was designed to talk about the topics that you as students are facing and to give student perspective, because we as teachers and staff and administrators know what's going on from our perspective, but there's a lot of things that you guys are dealing with that necessarily we don't know are hot button issues to you that we want to hear about. Before we get into that format, though, we've got a couple special announcements we want to get out there. So let's go ahead and take it away. We got some sports announcements, I believe a yearbook one.
All boys that love to play soccer and is interested in varsity soccer, please email Mr. Maldonado. His email is george_maldonado@kernhigh.org ASAP.
Hey guys, make sure you're checking your Canvas notifications and your Google Classroom notifications. You'll see important announcements such as stuff for the Bullying Prevention Week this week and yearbook stuff where you can enter pictures to be in the yearbook, which you want to do, so we have a good yearbook this year. And you'll see so many other announcements. Make sure you're looking out for that. To all my athletes interested in playing football, there will be a mandatory parent meeting Monday, October 19th at 6 p.m. Make sure you tell your parents about it and contact Coach Perucci for the Zoom meeting ID and password.
Perfect. Thanks for those announcements. As she finished off talking about sports, and what do you guys think? You know, we're coming back in cohorts here. At Shafter, we're going to start November 2nd with that. What are your guys' take? Are kids excited? What have you guys been hearing out there? Go ahead, Nick.
Um, I think it's really encouraging. Like just hearing that we'll be able to come back and slowly and surely we'll start. Well, not surely, but slowly we'll start opening back up again. And I think it's just positive, especially for athletes, knowing that we'll be able to condition here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that is a positive thing. We do need to stress it's going to be conditioning, it's not practice, but that is something that I agree with you wholeheartedly that we're going the right direction. Alicia, what do you got on that? Have you heard? Are you excited? Are your friends excited? What's your feeling out there?
I know I'm excited just because I've been trapped inside of my house for way too long during this quarantine. And me and my fellow seniors are actually just glad to get back out there, especially the senior athletes, because it's been tough for us with not having a season. So hopefully we get a season.
Yeah, I think it's been definitely tougher on you seniors because you guys, your junior year, the end of your junior year got messed up. Obviously, now you're talking your senior year. That's a tough blow, a tough pill to swallow there. Because I mean, as a freshman coming in, this is new to you. You're still going to have 4 years or 3.5 years or whatever it may be. But you guys at the end of your careers here at Shafter, I know it's got to be especially rough for that. Speaking of, now that we're in this situation and we're quarantining and doing all the stuff that we're supposed to do, the big topic obviously is distance learning. And that's something that everybody is experiencing, whether you like it or don't. And it's something we as staff members and teachers, administrators, everybody here at Shafter High is going through, and all of the students. There's some pluses and some minuses. So I'm going to start with you, Nick. What do you think? What do you think has been good that's gone on with social distance or with distance learning? What do you think maybe some bad that's gone on? What's your take on it? What are you hearing out from your friends?
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the negatives, and I think most kids can probably attest to is just finding the motivation to continue working and just finding some source of motivation to just keep pushing forward. But I think some of the positive things are, yeah, some of the positive things is you kind of get a little bit more sleep. You have more freedom to do what you want. You can get your work done faster if you want or slower. And I think it's just really nice to be home and be able to see your family more often.
Before we go over to Alicia, your negative, is hard to find the motivation. Do you think having kids come back for sports conditioning, do you think having that carrot maybe out in front of you is going to help some of these kids get some motivation? Is that a plus? Do you see that going to be a plus, or you think it's going to be a minus? How do you think it's going to pan out for kids?
Oh, I think it's definitely a plus. Like now before it was a little bit more shaky. Now we see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it gives us something to strive for, and just a little flicker of encouragement.
Good, good. Alicia, what do you think? What do you think the pluses and minuses we got going on with distance learning? And what are you hearing from your friends or yourself that possibly may be struggling with this whole situation?
So I'm gonna start off with the bad, just like Nick did. Um, for the bad, he said that we couldn't have like motivation. Like I know I'm at home, so I know at any moment like I can go get a snack from the kitchen, or if my mom needs help cleaning, I'll go clean just while like my teacher is talking. So I'll just like hear her from afar. Or knowing that my bed is literally right next to me. I might want to go lay down, take a nap, stuff like that. So it's definitely hard to find the motivation to do online school. And I know like my friends and just the generals can attest to that too because we're at home, we're comfortable here. For the good, we just see the light at the end of the tunnel, like Nick said. So having the opportunity to go and condition, you know that you have to make grades because when we go back, you have to have a 2.0 to play grades. So I think that'll bump up our motivation a little bit.
I definitely agree with that. I like that you both took the negative first so we can end on the positive. I think for the staff's perspective, I'll kind of give that view. I think the negative is that teachers got in the business to be around kids and they like to be around you to help motivate you, to inspire you to go do great things. I think it's really hard for staff members to be doing things from Zoom where you're looking at a lot of blank screens. The interaction may not be as great as they once liked or normally would have. I think that's probably the biggest pill to swallow and the toughest thing for staff members to deal with. I think there are some definite bonuses though, and good things that come out of it. I've noticed that kids now know how to email professionally. That where in the past where you may get one or two emails, now they're actually learning that you can't just type the whole message in the subject line. You actually have to, put in there, "Hello, Mr. Feaster." Put it in there, then sign your name at the bottom. I know that sounds weird for staff members. We do that all the time, but a lot of high school kids don't realize when they go to do jobs and things like that in the future, they're going to have to. That's probably the bigger communication anymore than it was in face to face with a lot of things. So I think there are definitely pluses and minuses, and I appreciate you guys kind of talking about that and getting your feel from your friends before we came on the air. Sports, we did talk about that, and we kind of talked about how conditioning's coming, and it's only 3 sports coming back at first. So you're going to have volleyball, you're going to have cross country, and you're going to have football. And those conditions, like we stated, start November 2nd. The big thing, I think a lot of kids, not only grades, but they got to get cleared. Have you guys gone through, Nick? Have you already gone through the process? Have you finished your clearance packet yet to get on in there? And I think we lost Nick. His mic went off. Here he is. He's back. Hey, this is distance learning. As you guys all know, kids, how this works. Teachers know things go in and out all the time. So have you been able to go ahead and finish your packet and everything?
Yeah, actually, I have a physical this week on actually tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be done with it by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the big thing right now for all you athletes is the packet you can go onto our website, Chapter High, you go to athletics, you hit athletic registration. Your parents kind of go through and sign an account. It's really easy. The hardest thing is the physical, though, and as Nick alluded to, you've got to go somewhere else to get that done. So you can go to the doctor. You can either download the form off the website that's in that packet, or you can go to the doctor's office and you can use the form the doctor gives you. But then you have to upload that back into Sportsnet to get you guys cleared. So we want to make sure we get you guys all cleared so everyone could get on out there on November 2nd, and we can get you guys going. Speaking of quarantine, and we kind of wrap this up here, I'm thinking since everyone's kind of stuck at home, everyone kind of does different things. I know I have different routines now than I've ever had in my life, at least in adulthood. What are some of the things you guys are doing to pass the time in quarantine? And it's making it, more bearable. And, we're going to start with you yet again, Nick. I seem to be picking on you the whole time, but go ahead, Nick. What are you doing? What's something you do to pass the time in quarantine?
One thing I do is just I prepare myself for a season, even if there is no, I just always try to go and keep myself in somewhat shape. And I just like spending time with my family. Like, it's really nice. I know some people probably get annoyed with their family members, and it can be annoying, but it's also really nice, like being able to see your family.
Okay, Alicia, how are you passing quarantine? How's it going for you?
It's going by slow for sure. I have watched a lot of Disney movies on Disney Plus, and I watched a lot of Netflix. I feel like I've watched every show on Netflix since quarantine started. But just like Nick said, still working for a season for volleyball and softball, so gonna be grind time soon. So you gotta get it going already.
Yeah, I've never realized there were so many home projects that needed to be done, or my wife thought needed to be done. I had no idea there were so many little things you can do to literally pass the time. I think I best heard it when someone said this is like March 3042. It's like we've been stuck here forever. We're not moving anywhere. But hey, I appreciate both you guys coming on and doing this show today. Generals, we hope you guys tune in. We're hoping to make this a weekly thing. If you've got something you want us to talk about, if you're like, here's a topic I wanted to have discussed, you can go ahead. You can reach out to Nick, or you can reach out to Alicia, or you can reach out to me. My email is on the school website, Brian Feaster. Go to athletic activities. You can see my little thing on campus. If you want my little Bitmoji, click on it. You can go ahead, send us a topic. We'll discuss it. But we're going to come back next week. Thank you guys. This is probably has a lot of errors in it. This is the first time we've ever done it, but I really appreciate you two for coming out here. I appreciate our special guest, Mr. Shipley, our announcements, and Toby, our sound guy over here, is doing a great job. So, hey, until we meet again, Always fun talking with you, Generals, and we'll see you next Thursday.